Good morning. It is Monday, bright and early. I got over to the studio as early as I could today because at 10 o'clock I have a meeting with someone that I am making a custom candle for. And that is such a fun process, but also super unpredictable and certainly challenging. You want to make sure that you are nailing the fragrance that they want. A fragrance is kind of hard to communicate, because even if you can pick out sort of which fragrance notes you like, you might not know what you like them combined with. You might not know the proportion. Like, say you have a candle or a fragrance and it's got cedar in it. And so you're like, I really like cedar. But maybe there's like only 25% cedar in that, and it's really the way it mixes with the other things. So there's a lot of nuance to making a custom fragrance for someone, and it's as rewarding as it is when you like get it nailed down. I have some additional stress around. It's good stress, but it's still stress nonetheless. So I have that at 10 o'clock, and I just wanted to make sure I get here early and prepared. What I like to do once I've sort of had an initial conversation with someone, whether that's in person or via email, about the kinds of fragrances they like. Sometimes I'll have them send me links to candles that they've bought that they've really liked, or perfumes, and if I'm lucky, those product descriptions will list the fragrance notes. I mean, they usually do. They're not always super specific, but even a starting point is really helpful. And then for this particular meeting, I'm creating 6 sort of starting points. And what I do is I take so I'm gonna open this up. I have these like little, they're basically like travel candle tins. In order to like save wax, what I do is I take a cotton round and I mix the fragrance oils, like small amounts of the fragrance oils on the cotton round, and then store it in here. So it like traps the smell, so that when you open this and you smell it, you get like a good idea of what the fragrance is gonna smell like, but this way I don't waste any wax. And so I've got 6 of these that I thought, I know that there are a few fragrance notes this person really responds to and some that they really don't, so I haven't even messed with those. But I wanted to at least start us somewhere, because I think that's really the hardest part with a custom fragrance is like, where do you start? And these, I feel good about these. It's possible that the person will show up and none of them will be quite right. Hopefully we can at least narrow it down to 1 or 2 that are in the right direction, and then I can sort of tweak those a little bit. This is the sort of thing that like, I can't think about any other work until this meeting is over. So I've definitely got other stuff I need to work on, especially throughout this week. But for today, I don't know what the afternoon is gonna look like. Sometimes the anxiety, again, even though it's good anxiety, the anxiety of a meeting like this can sort of wear me out for the rest of the day. And I try to be gentle with myself about that and find some like low effort tasks that need to be done, but won't require as much internal motivation to get them started, because that way I like can go a little bit easier on myself for the rest of today. So we'll see what happens. I'll try and update you after the meeting and let you know how it went. Okay, I'm back in my kitchen. I just finished the meeting about custom fragrances, and I do think absolutely that having the starting points, the like 6 starting points, was super helpful, because there were 2 sort of right away that she responded to, and then one of them, she was like, I think it needs something else. You know, it's really hard. Even for myself, really hard to identify what something is missing when it comes to a fragrance, but we sort of started playing around with it. This is where it becomes like a little bit nerve-wracking, because you're improvising. Like, improv has never been a strong suit of mine. You know, I'm sort of pulling things that I think are along the lines of what she's looking for, and sometimes it's a yes, sometimes it's a no. But as long as everybody's really patient, which she was, we did definitely hone in on a right direction. We haven't finalized anything because, again, we're just smelling fragrance oils on cotton rounds, so it does matter what these fragrances smell like in a wax. You can't predict 100% from a fragrance oil what that finished candle will smell like, which I know sounds weird. Obviously you can get a pretty good idea, but it does matter how that fragrance oil comes across in wax. So I'm gonna make some small samples to translate the fragrance oils we've mixed together into a little mini candle. And then that's where our next appointment will start off. There goes the dishwasher. So the last big thing I have to do today is I need to start working on some wholesale orders that I got end of last week. And there is soap in one of them. I'm making some hand soaps for one of my retail clients. When I say hand soap, it's the same basic formula as my bar soap, but this one comes in like a little round shape, which is really great for like a guest bathroom or a primary bathroom. It's much more the size of soap that would probably be sitting next to a sink, as opposed to my bar, which I think is great for the shower. I mean, some people use it next to a sink as well, but I say hand soap. I'm probably gonna change it to like round soap, because I think people get confused when I say hand soap as if it's like a different formula and like for some reason shouldn't be swapped out, but you could absolutely use the round soap in a shower and vice versa. So I've got to make some of those. And yeah, then I'm gonna probably pack up and pick up my daughter for the day. Now that she gets out of school at like 2:30, it really sort of cuts off my afternoon work. And this started in September, and I still have not fully adjusted to a sort of shortened work day. There's definitely stuff on my computer that I can do at home, but I just always leave for the day feeling a little bit like, oh, wish I had made some more stuff. Yeah, always looking for ways to like be a little bit more efficient. Haven't solved that problem yet. Tuesday. Today is just sort of one of those like get random things done days. I've got a list of a bunch of sort of random things that I need to stay on top of, or I just like want to start doing before I sort of forget and it's too late. And so I've tried to sort of prioritize what needs to happen first. I've gotten a few things done already. One of the main things was getting a system for completing my wholesale orders. I still haven't finished that. I think that'll sort of be an ongoing process. But right now I've added some clipboards over by the entryway to the kitchen with the wholesale orders and like what is in each order, what's the statuses of each of those products. And that feels good to like have that on paper and have it as like a visual reminder as I'm going throughout the day. In addition to launching my spring collection pretty soon, I'm also adding a year-round candle to my year-round collection, and that is the Cucumber Rose candle. It's the same fragrance as my bath salts, and I just get such great feedback on those bath salts and the sort of like freshness of that scent. It's like a really light floral like spa combination, and it's just really popular. So I've decided to add it in candle form. And I needed to design the labels for the candle tins. I also had an order of 2 gift sets that I packed up, and I can drop those off because it's a local order. So I'll be doing that later this week. So far, it's like 10:30 in the morning, and I feel like I've gotten a good amount of things done. So I'm just gonna keep chugging along, but overall feeling good, and yeah, hoping to continue being productive the rest of the day. I am gonna head out this morning to meet up with a few of my good friends who also own their own businesses. One of them is Chelsea, who shares the studio space with me. And then we also have a friend who is an interior decorator. And we try and meet up probably like once or twice a month, just to sort of get together and work together, bounce ideas off of each other. It can be so isolating to be the only person in your business. And even though that comes with a lot of freedom, it also comes with a lot of like, I don't know, struggling to make decisions and feeling like you don't know what you're doing, or like you're doing something wrong, or you just want to like talk things out with other people. And so it's really nice for us to have these little meetups every so often. So that's what I've got going this morning. And then I will be dropping off an order for a friend and trying to do some more of those tasks that I had started yesterday and just didn't get them all done. I didn't expect to get them all done yesterday. It's a very long list, but I'm gonna try and keep like chipping away at that. So that's what's on the docket for today. Such a gloomy Thursday that we're having today, which normally I don't mind. Like I have to be inside and I need to get work done. So like gloomy, not so bad. However, it was like pouring rain when I walked the kids to school this morning. So that is when I mind. I debated driving, but honestly trying to park, their school's on like a busy street. So trying to park on the street is about as difficult as just like walking. So we had an eventful walk to school with lots of rain. The kids decided to wear their ski goggles so the rain wouldn't get in their eyes. Felt like an overreaction to the rain, but you know, honestly, whatever gets them out the door with as few fights as possible. So once I dropped them off, I had some like scheduling to get done. I talked with my business coach yesterday and I've realized that like the hardest thing for me to do is make products when I don't have an external accountability to like finish them. So if I get a wholesale order, I have no problem making those products because I have a very clear date of when those are due to a person who has already paid me most of the time. So that's very easy for me to find the motivation to do. I really perform well with external accountability, like if I owe something to someone, I can get it done. So the wholesale orders I don't have a problem with, or like if there's a market coming up and I know I need inventory for that. Like with the spring launch, I have spring products going to some of my retail clients, but I don't have extra inventory yet for my own website, which is something I want to be better about. So I am working on my year-long production calendar, figuring out like what are the dates where I will be launching each seasonal collection. What are some events that I know for sure I have coming up? And so like those things are really good, hard dates to have on the calendar, but there's a lot of in-between time in the summer, and this like early part of the year is one of those two where I struggle to like produce inventory just for my website. So I went to the coffee shop because that is the kind of work where I need to be somewhere where there's nothing else for me to do. So I can't be at my home because I can't get distracted by like laundry or dishes or putting clothes away or whatever. And I can't even be here at the studio because there's plenty of organization or like labeling or other stuff that I can distract myself with. And I really just need to get this done. So I went and got a coffee at my neighborhood coffee shop, still pouring when I walked there, but I made some good progress on that. It's a little bit daunting to do the whole thing in like one sitting, but I definitely made some progress and I'm hoping to continue working on that over the next few days. I feel pretty good about this week. It's funny how like documenting my days like for this video makes me focus on like what I actually did accomplish. Because a lot of times I like get to the end of the day, it's like, what did I even do today? But this week I feel like a lot of good steps were taken. I've been trying, now that January is over and like the move to the new space is completed, I've been trying to get back to a place where I can like sort of take the weekends off. There's always like something to work on, even if it's like something as simple as like trying to plan out content or scheduling or whatever. But in terms of like coming to the studio and trying to do work, I kind of want to get out of that habit. I just feel like it ends up making it feel like I never get a break, even though I have like downtime in like pockets here and there. if I don't take the weekend off, I just feel like, I don't know, it just feels sort of like never ending and I get burnout. So I'm gonna try and mostly take the weekend off. Like I said, I still have some content planning to do. I had all these like exciting goals about like posting a TikTok every day and all this stuff like before the holidays hit. Like for this year, I was like 2023, one TikTok a day. Has not happened. But like obviously, I still like the idea of like trying to be a little bit more on top of that and proactive about that. And I can only really do that if I at least give myself some ideas of like types of content to post. So I'll probably work on that this weekend. And otherwise, I've got a kid's birthday party. That's enough. That is enough to wear me out for the whole weekend. Yeah, that's about it. I did want to take a moment. I've been getting emails. I get an email every time someone subscribes, and I've been seeing like new subscribers pop up. And I just want to say thank you so much. If this is my first video you're watching, if you have subscribed and this is, I don't know, my 10th video you're watching, I just am very, very grateful that anyone gets anything from these. I frequently put them together not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing if anyone's going to like it. And you all have just been like very supportive in the comments. So I just want to make it clear, I really appreciate that. And I'm glad you're here. And if you have any questions for me, always feel free to comment. I'm pretty good about fairly timely responses. And I love talking to people who are either starting their businesses or have questions about soap and candles and other stuff. I love talking about it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.